Welcome to the Solopreneur Academy Podcast. This is a podcast for entrepreneurs who want to make more impact and income in less time. I'm your host, Megan, and throughout each episode, you'll learn how to create the lifestyle and legacy you want as you grow. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Solopreneur Academy Podcast. Now, this week is the last week for you to join and get some super special bonuses for 5-Figure Foundation. And I figured, what better way to talk about what you get when you join 5-Figure Foundation than to show you what it's actually like to coach with me. I know for me, I feel like I teach in a different energy than I coach. And I want you guys to see what it's actually like to work with me, see a glimpse behind the scenes, and actually get a feel for what it's like within 5-Figure Foundation. So that's what we're doing this week. You are going to get access to a coaching call I did in my Facebook group. I do them every Tuesday, and I will be doing them until my maternity leave. And it just gives you an insight into like, oh, this is what it's like to work with Megan. Pretty neat. And with that being said, I also mentioned something that I realized I didn't mention on last week's podcast. For you all, when we're thinking about building your businesses, one of the things that I have found is that there are two components that are really important. You want to nurture your current audience so that they can become buyers. But I've also found that a lot of you guys have the exact same follower count, the exact same amount of people that are in your business currently that have been there for maybe years. And we need new people. We got to get new humans in your space for you to get to know. So another thing that I'm adding to 5-Figure Foundation, and this is going to be a permanent piece of 5-Figure Foundation, but you can join in the challenge live, is this Q1 Visibility Accelerator Challenge. So for me, I realized that there were so many things that people were focusing on, like making sure they were getting their posts out. They weren't really focusing on growing their audience. So what we're doing in 5-Figure Foundation is each week, we're going to be focusing on different ways for you to get more people in front of your business. Because I know that you guys have heard me go on and on about the importance of having conversations with people so you can convert them to buyers. But what if you don't have any new people in your audience? What if you currently only have an audience of friends and family and or people who are trying to sell you something? We got to get new people in there, friends. So people in their people, that's what we want to do. And so that's why I decided to do this Q1 Visibility Accelerator Challenge. Now, within this challenge, you're going to learn how to pitch yourself on somebody else's platform. You are going to learn how to actually give a sample of what you do, like I'm doing on this podcast. If you are a coach, you're going to coach somebody live, or you could if you provide a different service, like a functional medicine practitioner. One of my clients is a travel medicine. She prescribes travel medications to people. So we did an Instagram live together, and what you're going to do is the same. You are actually going to get a chance to pitch your services. You're going to get a chance to coach somebody else live, or just build your network on online and in-person networking events. I'm going to give you my tips and tricks of the trade when it comes to doing stuff online, when it comes to things in person, and where to actually find your people, which I think is a critical part of growing your business. I feel like a lot of times people forget when you open up a business, it's like starting a restaurant. You've got to create a list of people that could come to the restaurant and eat your food. So that's what we're going to do in 5-Figure Foundation. Now, the other perks to joining 5-Figure Foundation, not only are you going to get to join in live for the Q1 Visibility Accelerator, which I think is especially important if you have not signed clients, if you've not booked consults at all this year. We need you to make sure that you use March in the most effective way possible, which means that you are actually bringing in new humans and you know exactly what to do to close them. So that's the first added benefit. And the other important piece of this is when you are able to grow your business, when you're thinking about creating a lasting business, my goal is the other two bonuses that I'm including for people before enrollment ends on March 8th is including a way for you to make your money back and what I call the 5-figure system startup pack. So let me tell you about both of those. There is a money back mini course that I created where you learn 3 different strategies in order to bring people into your audience quickly. There is a referral method, there is a live launch, like hard launch, here's what I'm doing now. And then there's also a way for you to create collaborative opportunities. So that is something that you also get is a way for you to make your money back. $1,500 in the month of March, even if you haven't made any money at all, this is going to be so imperative for you. And if you have been making money in your business, if you have been bringing in people, let's just bring in more. Let's get a faster way for you to do social media. Let's get a way for you to actually do DMs that don't feel spammy and weird and salesy. And let's create a way for you to close calls faster so that eventually you can transition into 6-figure scaling and actually grow to 6 figures this year. The other thing is with the 5-figure system startup pack, that is a really jazzy thing that I created where you're going to get a content repurposing system operating procedure, SOP. So we're going to go back, and if you have created content so far, the things that actually have been working for you, the things that have been converting, we're going to talk about how to just repurpose that. I also give you 10 ideas for DMs that you can start to send that are proven to convert at a really high level. And I give you a way to track your leads so that we can actually see what I call your 5-figure formula is, how you actually make money. And you'll get to see, oh, I talked to 20 people and I brought in a consult. Clearly, having conversations with humans works. How can I get in front of more? And that is what we're going to be doing within 5-figure foundation. Now, the money back Kickstart Fast Action Mini Course bonus, like I mentioned, is only available until March 8th, and then it's done. And the 5-figure system startup pack is only available for people who pay in full. So make sure you're ready for both of those things. It's going to be good. And I can't wait to see you guys in this whole episode where I coach live. You guys are going to get to hear about it. It is going to be such a fun episode. And I will see you in the next episode of the Solopreneur Academy so soon. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Facebook group call today. Today on our call, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking all about whatever you need coaching on. And of course, this is going to be open coaching. But before we get into it, I wanted to let you know that 5-figure foundation is now open. It opened up yesterday, but a couple of people pre-enrolled, which was awesome. So we have 6 people that have joined so far. And this is going to be an opportunity for you to join in this week, because if you are a part of 5-figure foundation or 6-figure scaling, both my coaching programs are starting a Q1 visibility challenge on Sunday. I'm going to be sending them 4 videos and 4 ideas for them to double their reach this year. And my goal is that you get in front of more people, because I find that you're talking to the same audience, and we need to get you out there and meeting more humans, talking to more people, getting your audience bigger. And that's what we're going to be doing in 5-figure foundation and 6-figure scaling. So there's never been a better time to join. There's also a money back Kickstart Fast Action bonus that you can get if you sign up before the 8th. So that means that you get 3 other plays to help you make your money back in your first 30 days that you're on the program. And it's going to be a really freaking good year. So I am excited for anybody who is signing up for 5-figure foundation. Make sure you register using the link. I'll put it in, I put it in the 3 clients in 30 days webinar yesterday, but I'm just so freaking excited for anyone that is signing up. And I redid all the modules and they are all updated as of Friday. And you guys, it's pretty freaking good. You want to be in there. Lots of good things happening. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Kalisha. Go ahead and raise your hand if you want some coaching. And we're just going to hit everybody that we possibly can today.
Hey, y'all. Megan, you did such a good job. You did so much stuff. I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these new videos. This is crazy.
It was awesome. It was so fun. I was like, it was a very busy week last week, but we got a lot done.
Wow, good for you. So my win this week is that I reached out to our local art center, and I was actually able to get a workshop scheduled in April. So I was really excited about that. And then another win is that I have a consult tomorrow. So I'm excited about that too. Oh, and I got a client last week. So yeah, lots of wins.
Pretty good. I love
Yeah.
it so freaking much. And I'm so excited. Your consult's tomorrow?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Girl, you are crushing it. What can I give you some coaching on?
So I want to come up with my 6 month offer, and I kind of have an idea for it. And I just wanted to get your thoughts. And of course, you're, smart, so you can help me. But I was thinking I could do something like the Creative Business Accelerator. But I hear that word a lot. So what do you think about the word accelerator?
I'm kind of obsessed with it. And here's the thing. I was actually really sad because the Solopreneur Business Accelerator was actually already taken. I wanted to use the word accelerator. I'm kind of
Oh,
obsessed with it as a word.
I didn't even look to see if mine is taken, but yeah.
Wait, here, let's look it up. Looking it up for you. I got you.
Creative Business Accelerator. So it's like ABC, but backwards.
It is. There
CBA.
is one that has 1,000 followers.
Okay.
It's just Creative Business Accelerator.
Okay.
There's there is another one. Yeah, there are a few.
Okay.
It's a good name. And there's also
Um,
accelerators for creatives. Yeah. It's a good thing about Googling. Now, it doesn't have to stay Creative Business Accelerator for forever, but I
yeah.
do think it could, if you do want to scale it, it could be a little tricky later.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll have to rework that one then.
Let's
That's
think
my
about it.
idea.
So I think, tell me, you were saying you were iffy about the word accelerator anyway, so we could
Yeah.
switch out the word accelerator. Um,
Yeah.
I used to call mine initiative. So
Yeah.
mine was the business fulfillment initiative and the career fulfillment initiative. So you
Okay.
could call it the creative business initiative.
Yeah, I like that one. Let's Google it.
Let's look it up. I'm like,
Creative Business Initiative. Creative Business Initiative.
creative entrepreneurs initiative, creative enterprise. There's no creative arts and creative initiative, but there's no creative business initiative.
Okay, let's go with it. I'm just going to go with it. It's a one-on-one program, so if it can't be used forever, that's fine.
Yeah.
So one-on-one, it was going to be 6 months, so weekly coaching, so like
Mhm.
24 calls, and I was thinking $400 a month, and then just they get a discount if they pay in full. But how much of a discount do you think would be good? Like,
If we do 400 a month, that is 2,400. So you could do 2,200, you could do 2,000 if they pay in full.
okay, I'll do 2,100. How about that?
Love it.
Okay. So I'm done. I'm good with that. I'm done. I'm not going to question it anymore.
Love it.
And then my consult tomorrow, you know how you do your like your pillars kind of whenever you're doing your
Yeah.
consult and you kind of like walk them through a before and after type thing. I just don't want to like copy you directly, but my
Copy me.
client, okay,
Feel
but
free to. That's what
okay,
you
my
pay me the
client,
big bucks for. Feel free.
yeah,
Do not recreate the wheel.
okay, well then I'll kind of copy you then because I was going to use one of my pillars is going to be focus because I feel like creatives really have a problem with that. And then the other ones, I feel like I'm just copying you directly. It's marketing, sales, business systems, and focus are the four ones.
I love it. I think
Okay.
that for creatives, it's just the word systems, actually the reason why I took it out of my programs is it was intimidating for people. They thought
Mhm.
systems meant like making a CRM and have like all these like crazy automations. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
that's not at all what I mean. So what do you
Okay.
mean by systems? For me, I more so meant like having a routine, structure, organization. And that's more so what I'm doing my marketing on now.
Yeah,
So
basically that's what I would be saying too. I was going to call it like the creative operating system being kind of my process or result. The creative operating system, more like simple systems, like really simple systems to hold you while you have your creativity still at the forefront. Because I feel like creatives have a lot of problems when it comes to systems because they
yeah,
feel like they have to have like, all the stuff going at once, but
yeah.
really helps their business to grow and it helps them to be more creative if they do have like a structure, so like structure, system,
Structure, I think is going to
strategy.
be structure. Strategy is the word I also use. I think
Okay.
that when I hear the word focus, it makes me think organization. So I'm just thinking
Yeah.
about a different selling point for you. And I'm like, okay, if we're already hitting the organization angle, the systems angle it was kind of like aligned with that. I think that they would be like, I don't really have a strategy. Like I'm just kind of like going with like what my intuition, with what my inspiration, like
Mm-hmm.
whatever it says at the time, but I don't really
Mm-hmm.
have a strategy to make sure that my goals are actually hit. And I want somebody to like give me some sort of strategy and ideas.
Yeah. So strategy is a good one. Okay. But you said people
I
aren't
would
really
make
like
it
jiving with systems at all.
I especially think for creatives, I think they would
Okay.
get intimidated.
Okay.
And I
All
swear,
right.
I'm
Well,
like, what would be the lowest bar for entry? Yeah, Janae said she agrees. She like, I think we need to think about like a low bar for entry and be like,
okay.
if you need to be more focused, if you need help with your marketing, if you want more sales and you want business strategy, I am your girl. I'm Kalisha and I run the Creative Business Initiative. And it's my 6 month one-on-one coaching program where you learn how to create all of those things and reach your goals, along with creating a fun, fulfilling business for the next year and years to come.
Okay. So I'm just going to rewatch this video. I'm just going to take everything you just said and I'm just going to
Just like
say it with
copy
my voice.
paste.
Okay. Okay.
Seriously, it's so good. It's so good. And that's what they're missing. Is they just need you to say those words to make them feel
Yeah.
really, really safe.
Okay. Well, I love it. That helps a lot. I just don't want to feel like I'm copying you directly. Yeah, but then I listened to our call last week and you were like, well, maybe you should help them with organization and this and that. And I was like, I don't really do that. But then my client last week, she was like, I really think that you would help me with organization. And I was like, okay, I guess I do that. So I had to like wrap my brain around that being a core pillar of mine.
Well, and I think that like coming from having a VA business, like I think that that
Yeah,
also it gives you that like it gives you a creative edge. It gives you an edge. You'd be like, I know how
exactly.
to organize and structure things to get shit done.
Yeah,
Stuff
exactly.
done.
Okay. Well,
Stuff.
that is very helpful. Thank you so much.
Of course. So good.
Bye.
And I'll put these in the chat for you.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, Kylie, go ahead and give us a win. What's going on for
Hey
you?
there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you great.
New headset going.
Look at you,
Okay.
fancy pants. I love it.
So I don't know whether to call this a win or not, but I kind of jumped out off the ledge last night and started looking at domains called um, successcoachforstudents.com or
Very good.
the successcoachforstudents.com. And so I'm thinking that direction. And I have a workshop coming up this week for my clients. I've put on my website like a high ticket offer, no price or anything. I don't really know what it is yet, but if someone wanted to ask about it, it's there and I can start the possibility of, making the big bucks, from someone that can afford to pay the big bucks. I'm putting it out there into the universe. So, but then I need you to help me get refocused on getting fully booked, get my head out of the clouds, because it's exciting to kind of dream and put it
Uh-huh.
out there and have the possibility there. But I still, need to be fully booked. And the last time we talked about DMs, it was sort of, we were talking about, hey, I'm doing this thing with tutoring. I have a few open spots available for daytime hours, but now we're getting toward the end of the school year. So, I mean, we have, end of school year testing coming up. We have the summer coming up eventually. What should I be DMing people now?
Okay. So can we cycle back to success coaching in the workshop? You
Yes.
said you've got a workshop coming up for clients this week. Do you mean just your whole audience?
Yeah, so it's free to clients and I've opened it up to my whole audience. And I am marketing it this week, going live each day this week with
What
like
is
a
it
story. So,
about?
okay, so the workshop is cracking the code to better grades. And so
Okay.
it's all about improving your grades this last 9 weeks of school and easy, simple things you can do that. And my marketing is I'm going live each day and like I'm just telling stories.
Mhm.
Um, Yesterday I told a story about being in college and making C's on the first two papers I turned in. And then I went and asked my professor what I was doing wrong. So it's like, so in my workshop, I will teach you how to ask smart questions and how to overcome your nervousness about, speaking to your teacher or professor about your assignment. And so I'm doing that. I'm going to talk about how to not leave easy points on the table. I'm going to talk about how to expand your answers with like words like because, or, just very specific things students can do to improve.
Okay. I like this a lot because the reason why I like it is you have a very clear result and you're giving the urgency in the time frame. You're like, there are 9 weeks left of the school year. If you want to get better grades, you've got to come to this webinar. Come, it's going to be great, or this workshop. With the workshop, I would make the call to action to book a consult with you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where we come back into getting fully booked is like we want to create an opportunity for people to be like, yes, I wouldn't call it a high ticket offer. I would just be like, I'd love to work with students one-on-one. I want to work with your student. 9 weeks left is still plenty of time. Book a consult with me
Yeah.
this week.
Well, and that's what it wouldn't really. So the way I envision the high ticket offer, like, how you told me take prices off the
Yes.
website, you
Yeah.
talk to the person and you see what they need or what. And so that offer is just another thing that I have in my pocket that if it's the right person, I have that offer there available.
Yeah. And
but I also still have my other two tiers of offers that are more affordable, but less time and less contact.
I would sell the middle offer on the call. And I would talk with them about that middle one. And I would be
Okay.
like, here's what we do when we work together. You would get this, you would get weekly coaching, you would get either me or one of my tutors would be working with your student. We would first talk about their goal, where they want to be by the end of the year. And then we create a customized strict plan for them to have a strategy to hit that goal, whether it's the talking to the teacher, what easy points they might be leaving on the table, and come up with a strategy for them. And every single week we progress. And then on the call, you could be like, hey, based on what you told me, if you really do want your kid to grow 7 reading levels, I don't think that meeting once a week would be sufficient. I do think that meeting multiple times a week would be helpful. There's actually another option for more high touch. Here's what it would look like.
Okay.
But do you see how I'm bringing that in? So I think that could be helpful for you.
Okay.
But I think that that's the first piece. And then I would send everyone in your audience DMs and be like, hey, there are 9 weeks left of the school year. I'm doing a workshop. I would love for you to be there. And I'm also going to be talking about like what I'm doing with my one-on-one coaching program. So here's a link to book for the workshop. And then also I'll be messaging you after the workshop to let you know about openings for the next 9 weeks of the year.
Okay.
But do you see how it's like the first one, invite, second one, book a consult. And it's like, if you're not interested, no big deal. I'll reach out about other opportunities later.
Okay. What's an easy way? Like, I don't even know, like an easy way to message everybody. Can you do that?
You can, but you just have to do it. I would recommend doing it one at a time. I found that you get better results. And I also like to use people's names. So I'll be like, hey, Lydia, so nice to meet you. I'm so glad that you're here. Hey, Rosa, so nice to meet you. So glad that you're here. Hey, Kalisha, nice to meet you. So glad that you're here. And that's what I would do. And I would invite them to the webinar and then send a video and a message. I'm putting this in here, video and message. And then when is the workshop? I called it a webinar.
Sunday.
Okay, after the webinar or workshop, and then you go in on Sunday and then you say, hey guys, I do have those spots open. It's like the end of school year accelerator, to use Kalisha's word, of like the end of school year accelerator. I would love to do some intensives with your student. If that's something you feel like they could use, here's the link to book. Feel free to send it to your friends as well. Otherwise, I'll keep you posted about like other things to support over the summer after I get the last few people in.
Perfect. Okay.
So step to do, I'm putting you a to-do list. Invite everyone you can to the workshop, video and message and you can do up to 40 people a day on Facebook, more if it's LinkedIn or TikTok. You can do
I
less.
just have Facebook and Instagram, and I'm on YouTube. That's the three things that I'm on.
Combine the meta and like you can do either for like 40 on either platform or combined. So I would just do Facebook because I think it's more where your people might be looking for support. And then on Sunday, say, and I'll put this, I'm gonna use talk to Ted. Hello, dear friend. After that workshop, I'm opening up a few spots before the end of the year for people to get help for the next 9 weeks of the school year. This is going to be, what did I just say? I said it was like a an accelerator. It's or intensives. Few intensive spots to help people over the next 9 weeks of the school year to hit grade goals before the year ends. I would love to work with you. If you know of anyone who could utilize this, here's a link to book a consultation where we'll go over your students' goals and see if it's a good fit together. Here's a link. Otherwise, I'll keep you posted about the opportunities I have coming up this summer too. And then that is a good segue. And then the invite to the workshop saying, hello, dear friend. I am doing a Cracking the Code to Better Grades workshop on Sunday. Here's a link to join. Feel free to send it to your friends. It's about how to make sure that your child hits their goals for the last 9 weeks of the year. Now, the only other thing I was going to tell you about the workshop itself is you were talking about like asking smart questions and overcoming nervousness, not leaving easy points on the table and expanding on your answers. This sounds like it's a workshop that's designed for students, not parents.
Yes, yes. So, so right now I work with younger students,
Right.
Kindergarten through 8th grade. I see me eventually transitioning into older students with the success coaching part,
Yeah.
specifically. But for them, some of the younger students may want their parents may need to attend too, just so that they are getting the education and able to support. But it is for students on things that the students would do. But if parents, come, then they can be informed and then be able to support their child. I'm speaking workshop only.
Right. Okay, here's the thing though, Kylie. Right now, your audience is all K through 8.
Yeah.
I wouldn't switch niches in these last 9 weeks of the year.
Oh, I'm not. That's
But like
just
I'm saying that as far as a workshop, I would do it for parents.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
right
I've
now,
been marketing it. I've been marketing like to families, if that makes sense. Like just
but like I would make the tenets of the workshop. I would be like, here's how to ask smart questions on behalf of your student. I even give my parents email templates to send to their teachers.
Okay.
Here's how I help my parents support their students.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Instead of being like, instead of you're not going to leave easy points on the table, here are the questions it's like here's a guide that I give parents that we work with, and we go through and talk about like what your student is missing. Here's how to look at their test, see where they're missing the easy points. Are they missing critical test taking skills where they're not even just discerning the answers? That's what you want to do. And I want you guys, and I would be like, this is a workshop, so I want you to come with your kid's last reading test. Or it's like, come with this and we're gonna go over it together.
Okay.
And it's like I would be like, here's how to support your student in doing this. And then I would do it as 1, easy points, 2, how to help them expand on their answers, 3, how to ask the teachers the smart questions to help them reach their goals.
Okay.
But do you see how it's like all for parents?
Right. Right.
That's what I would do. And I would do all of your marketing this week being like all to the parents. It's like if you want your kid to be successful, you need to make sure that you're asking the right questions. Here's how I help my parents to support their students and how we do things in success coaching.
Okay. Trying to wrap my brain around it. It's just like a different direction than I was
It is,
than I
but
was
I'm like,
going.
I would much rather you pivot now than stick with it. Just because I think that you don't have the audience size yet for a student focused workshop where the students are coming.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay. All
mean?
right. Yeah.
Like, it would be like me being like, I am figuring out the pieces to go to 7 figures. I've helped 2 people hit 7 figures. So I'm going to start doing all of my marketing about hitting 1 million. All of us too, it's like, if you want to make 1 million this year, I can help you get there. And all of my audience are people who haven't like made even 10K to 100K yet.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like, oh no. It's like, yes, I have figured out a lot of things that people need to do. They do need to make sure they've got their team management down. They need to make sure that they're doing big audience grabs. They need to be doing ads. And I also don't want to be teaching that yet because I don't have an audience for it.
Okay. I gotcha.
And you will soon.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. So good. All right, Michelle, the success coach for students. It's gonna be so good.
Hello.
Oh, and interesting, Shelly just said, sorry, real quick, Kylie, if you respond to your YouTube comments, apparently Shelly said that worked for her. So good to know. So if you're getting YouTube comments, feel free to like send that out to them too. What's your win though, my dear? What's going on for you?
I haven't even thought about looking for comments on the YouTube, so that's super interesting,
I know, I haven't either. I'm like,
right?
I know, but I
A
would
win.
prioritize one area for sure. For all of you guys, don't worry about putting, even if you can cross post. I'm posting on LinkedIn, I'm posting on TikTok. I have not looked at those inboxes in ages. I focus on Instagram. I'm like, we're here. If I can get to it once a week, that's good. What is your win?
Okay, so I think I would call my win is that I know that you probably heard because we were talking about it in the chat about the gal that just quit after a month.
Yeah.
And so I was just really proud of myself for the way I showed up for that because I was just like, okay, if I'm only thinking about what is, I'm fighting for her. I'm
Yeah.
fighting for her space, for her to heal. And maybe she won't fight for herself, but I'm willing to fight for her. And then whatever happens, I just release. And so I feel like I did a really good job on that.
I'm proud of you.
Hooray.
What can you
Yeah.
do some coaching on? Is it
Um,
about that, getting more people in? What's going on?
well, I raise my hand even if I have no idea what I'm going to be asking about. So I did my webinar last night, and then I found out this morning that I only had it recording on TikTok, even though I'm pretty sure I remember it saying recording now. So anyway, I'm going to have to just pivot on that and then possibly go into Fathom and see if Fathom did its amazing miracle work that it does. I did have one person show up, but she's already a client. So that's fine because it was, that's great. Um, and I guess,
This
yeah,
is rebuilding after divorce.
yes, life after
Like,
narcissistic divorce.
okay.
Yeah. Um, I went through what you had told me on the Loom and I had applied that. I took out a bunch of the journaling stuff and we did do a breathing practice. So that was really good. And it was so interesting because I had 2 clients that I coached yesterday. Yeah. And we did the breathing practice with them
Okay.
in the coaching sessions because they needed that.
Yeah. With TikTok, can you download it?
Yes. And
So
I,
at
I
least we can download it.
Yeah, I just got done doing that because it's like you can't do it right away. It's really funky. You have to
Yeah.
wait. And it says it's going to automatically download it. I've never had that happen. So I'm like, whatever. So I'm just going to have to pivot with that and use it because typically I send the replay off of a YouTube video that I will
Okay.
upload to YouTube. Um,
How many, and I'm looking at your webinar eval. How many, what was your goal for the number of clients?
well, I had hit, you mean in the webinar?
Hmm.
One, one.
At one side, one client.
Yes.
Okay. Love it. What I think was, remember we were talking about like DMing before and after being like a goal for this one?
Yeah, I did 26.
So far, awesome.
Well, that was before.
You guys did
So
two before.
I've done none today yet. Um, I did reach out to the people in my Facebook group, and that's where 17 of them came from. I also promoted it in my Facebook group.
Okay.
Um,
How many people registered?
just one, and that was the one that showed up.
One person. Okay, so we're one for one. And you know
Mhm.
what's interesting? We didn't put a goal for you. I'm looking at your
No,
goal
I
and I'm like,
didn't.
so here we go. This was an issue that I had last year as I found that I was trying to move so quickly that I was like just doing things, but I was like, I really want to be intentional about it. But we still have this whole week to get
Right.
intentional. We've got 4 days before February ends. I know that there is somebody who is struggling with narcissistic abuse that can absolutely use you. We want to get how many consults? Do you know if like, let's make it a goal to get 2 consults.
Okay. And so this is the other thing. I mean, this is just part of the way this plays is I have 3 people that have said that they wanted to do a consult but when it actually came down to actually booking the time, nobody did.
Who were they? Are they
They were off of TikTok.
okay?
So
Perfect.
what I have found on TikTok is that people are a lot more skittish. And that
Your
and I'm
audience
not
might
just
be a
like
smidge
putting
on
them
the
into
skittish
that
side, though.
category just because of a thought that I'm having. It's like you're like, yes, we're going to do this. Here we go. And you start talking about offering out times, and then they just go silent. And they'll go silent, and then you reach out to them maybe a week later. Hey, want to check in on you. How are you doing? And then they'll re-engage with you and then you lead them
Okay.
back to that, and then they go silent again.
Yeah. I think that I want to make just like I was and Jill, I was just thinking about you. I was thinking about just like being like, okay, skittish people is almost like a circumstance. Like, what if that's a sea line? Like, this is
Okay.
a neutral circumstance. I genuinely don't think for your audience, women who are struggling with narcissistic abuse, I think that let's just make it a circumstance. They might be more skittish. We can just assume that they've been through some stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like we can just be like, they might be more skittish. They might be less open. What thought though? Do like I want you to have a really strong thought that like I can break through the skittish nature. It might take you instead of 11 points, touch points, 22. We might have, and I think that if you go in, so one of the things that I was coaching one of my one-on-ones this morning about was like just the expectation. And it's like, I think if we almost make the expectation, like we're gonna have to ask for a consult to them 22 times. It might take them a lot of times, but I just need to, there are gonna be people who book faster. There are gonna be people who just need a lot of time, and I can show up for both of them.
Hmm.
There's some kind of like thought there that like maybe this is the month. Like, it's like I'm gonna figure out a way to convert these people faster. And if it takes them more time, it's okay too.
So the thought that I do have about it is they're not ready yet.
Okay, I love this thought. because, which it sounds weird. I was like, but I think that the thought that I would like for you to have is like, I can make them ready.
I can make them ready. Okay.
Do you see the shift? Like, it's like, oh,
Right.
it's like they're not ready yet, but I know exactly what to do to get them to be ready. What do they need to be ready?
Trust
How?
and enough pain from their situation that they're ready to move. That sounds terrible, but I guess we're all
No,
made that way.
we
We're
we
all
need to
made
figure
that
out
way.
what are their problems. I don't, and again, this is like the gunshot wound versus a nose job. If somebody's gonna pay for surgery, which are they most likely to pay for faster? We need to stop the bleed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So this is where, how can we make them ready? How can we ask them more about their situation? Then you're asking them like, hey, okay, so how long has it been? I know that we were talking about this. Like, maybe we need to find out more fuel before we pitch.
Well, I'm just gonna pull it up
Yeah, thanks.
because that way another win is that I had one gal off of my client win post 2 weeks ago. Well, a week and a half ago. I posted it. She reached out to me. We consulted and she paid 2 days after the consult.
I love this.
I'm like,
Love this.
what? That's fantastic. That's the fastest that's ever happened. But it was so cool because I was just like, oh, yeah, this is what we do. I mean, I was owning that
Yes, but that's the thing with
stuff.
you is that like when we're thinking about you being in this like in this energy, like, oh my gosh, you know what? You reminded me so much of my client, Kalisha. You know, it's like, oh, your story reminds me so much of her. Tell me more about what's going on for you. I'm thinking of you. This is definitely something I've helped so many people with. I get that. That was the trust that made
Right.
her pay right away.
Here it is. Okay, so she just left. She got a restraining order on him, and they have court. She's hoping it goes smoothly. She doubts that it will, which she's right. Uh, he's begging her to that he's changed and to take her back or take him back. And I just said, good job on getting the restraining order. Um, from what I've seen, they don't change, they morph and get better. How are you doing? And she's like, I'm doing good one day at a time. And then I left it. So this is on me. This is interesting to look back. I said, I'm glad to hear that. Yes, definitely one day at a time. That was all I said.
Interesting. So what you would do is, but like because the thought is like they're not ready yet, so I'm just gonna like back off. I think that was maybe what was going on, subconscious self-sabotage. We're good. But now we
Right.
go and reach out again, and you're like, hey, it's like I was just thinking about you. I know that one of the hardest parts of like going through something like this is how it impacts your kids. Do you know if she has kids?
She has a little one. I'm trying to see
Okay.
how. And she even said, it won't let me click on your link tree. I'm reaching out for help. That was the first thing that she said to me on February 4th.
Oh my gosh. Okay, cool.
And so I said, I'm sorry, it won't let you click on it. Would you like to set up a time to talk? So I was trying to like bypass Linktree. Fine, it's not working, but let's set up a time.
Why didn't you send her the link?
Because it's in TikTok and it's weird.
Oh,
So I thought, oh, even if I send it to her, but maybe I should just say, one thing that I'm thinking I could say is, you know what, Adrian, you asked me for my link tree and I never sent it to you, and I'm so sorry about that. Let me send that to you right now. I don't know how I overlooked that.
it's all good. It's literally like this now becomes your new mental protocol. You're like, I think that your thought was like, I need to warm her up more, maybe. But she
Well, I
was,
was just trying to bypass it because, I mean, literally, I'm like, I'm going to bypass this because TikTok is weird about links.
it
That's
doesn't let you send a link.
sometimes even if you send the link, it won't let them click on it to go to the link.
Okay, so what I would do that I didn't know about that. So I was like, what do you, I'm like, so what I would do is I would be like, hey, I'm gonna try and send the link, but TikTok can sometimes be weird about it. If you can't click on it, send me your email and I'll send it to you from this link. But I know this is a time when I've had so many clients needing support, especially if you've got a little one, and I am here for you. Like one day at a time is like that's fine, but I would like for you to actually get through this stronger. I can help you with this. I've got you. And I would be like, I'm also this week because of the webinar. What was your bonus?
The bonus was the Wheel of Life with
Okay.
the protocol on how to go through it.
Did you call it the Wheel of Life?
I think so. The Wheel of Life
Okay.
tool.
I would maybe think about like, so I called it like the 10-year plan worksheet when I did it because I was describing like the result of the process. When you have a worksheet, this goes for anybody, instead of talking just about the process itself, you want to actually include um the why, the bigger result. So I'd be like, something like that. Anyways, that's for the future. I would just be
Sidebar.
like, sidebar. I was like, yep, pivot, tangent, and back. But I would for you be like, hey, I thought about you, Adrienne, and I know that you were taking this one day at a time, and I would love to support you. I know that you were trying to click on the link tree, and I'm gonna make sure, and I would send her a video and be like, I am so sorry that I didn't like get you the link. Here is the link. I'm also, if you can't click on it, sometimes TikTok can be weird. So I'm gonna send
Right.
you the link send me your email if the link doesn't come through. But I have times as soon as this week, I would love to talk to you about like how I would specifically support you in those court sessions. This is something I've done with a ton of my clients, making sure that your little one is feeling safe with this whole situation and this transition, and making sure that you are feeling so supported and ready, not just 6 months from now, but 6 years from now, that you can go through this stronger. So here's the link to book a consult. I would love to support you. And again, I've got times this week. If you don't see something that's open, I do run another business as well. That's how I created my financial freedom and left my ex. And so if you don't see a time that works for you, please reach out and let me know, and I can make a time work for you.
Okay.
But like, do you see like how safe and held she would feel if she got that? Like
Right.
you need to like hold her and be like, I've got you. Thank you so much for reaching out. I can help you. So
Yeah.
that's to do first. Reach out to Adrian for sure.
Well, and isn't that I'm glad that I brought this up because looking back, I'm like, oh.
Does this happen for more people?
Well, I don't know, but I'm just like, well, that's
I wonder.
interesting. So, yeah. And then there's another gal. I don't think that's her. No, that's not her. Let me find her. Here she is. Um, sh She said something on my post, and so I reached out to her. Um, she's been very reserved. Like I said, I'd love to see how I might be able to help you. I see that you visited my page. And she says, thank you so much. And then that one I just said, would you like to set up a time to have a talk? I went right in for it.
We were right in. We need maybe a few more medium touch points.
Right.
What was the post that she commented on?
Um, Let me see. I don't.
Find that and then let's reach back out to her and be like, hey, I would go softer. I wouldn't just go straight out and be like, want to book a consult this week necessarily. I would be
Right.
like, hey, so tell me more about you. Tell me more about your situation. This is what I mean. Like when people are like, this is how DMs are not like smarmy or salesy. It's like, I'm genuinely just like, I can probably help you with something. Tell me more context. Like, I probably need to know a little bit more about you.
Yeah. So the thing that she wrote on one of my posts, talking about saving your marriage and how we were supposed to work on it to save our marriage, but they never had to. And so her comment was, I was told to go sit on my bed naked and don't deny him. And that was the first comment that she had to me.
This is not
This is
reserved.
this is not
I would say
this is not
that.
abnormal. It's not
Yeah.
abnormal for me to hear stuff like that. I mean, the amount of control is makes your stomach
Yikes.
roll. It really
Yeah,
does.
it
And
really does.
so I was like,
Oh,
she's
honey.
totally willing to be vulnerable out on a comment.
So I think that, but then you went out. So it's like, so for all the people who are commenting you stuff like that, be like, hey, I hear you. This is something that like is so common. Tell me more. What are you still with this person? Are you out of the relationship? What's going on for you?
Right.
That's where I would go from there. I would go back to all of the people who do those comments on your posts and be like, hey, I'm here for you. I want to get to know more about your situation. I've made it my goal that February and March of this year, we are healing this stuff. We are getting through. That is what everyone in my community, I want them to experience that. And I want that for you. Let's talk about it. What's going on? Are you still with them? Do you have kids? What are all the parameters of this situation? Man, okay, here are some things that I've done that can help. Let me talk to you about this. Have you tried this? Have you thought about this? Then also, by the way, this is something I do with my clients. Try this. Have you thought about this? Oh, and also, by the way, I'm hosting this webinar. I'm doing it in March. I would love to have you there. I think it would be so helpful. It's about these specific things that you literally talked to me about over the past 3 weeks. Okay, now after this webinar, hey, just a heads up. I don't know if you saw, but I am doing consults this week for people who are interested. Here's the bonus. But do you see how it's like, oh, it's like Michelle knows me. Michelle is here
Right.
for me.
Acknowledging the pain.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
could be really, really helpful for you and your people. I would say for any other people who commented on a post, I think that we might need for situations like that, you could just go straight up being like, hey, that's a lot. And we could offer them straight to a consult, but I think they might need more.
Yeah, they need a little bit more
Yeah.
trust space first.
Yeah. Now, like to be fair, I also have gone in and I've been like, I've gone in and said, like, if someone was like, Mark, yeah, the algorithm hates me. I'm like, I totally get that. I've had so many people, I felt like that too. Let's normalize it for a second. Your feelings are valid. And here are some things that I've done to help. This is also something I do with my clients. Let me know if you would like some support with it. But like you could also like you can go for a more medium hard touch point. I just think that your people we want to make them ready by creating trust and safety.
Right. Yeah.
Engage in other
Okay.
problems. Be like, I got you.
Right.
Like, here are your problems. I've got you. I literally, it's like, if no one is, but for me, I'm like, if you haven't had a consult in a month, man, let's fix that. I got you, but it's like, it's like if you are struggling and feeling anxious every single day about your new narcissistic abuser, that's normal. And we are going for above average here, my friends. It's like we do not want that to be your norm. We can make a new normal for you, you
Yeah.
know? But
Yeah.
okay, so I love this. We're gonna reach out to Adrian. Any other soft touches? I think that we should do soft touches with those people who commented on the post. But then I think that we should send also with TikTok, you can send 100 DMs a day. Fun fact. It's kind of crazy. Same with LinkedIn as well. So that's a lot of people. Shelly and
Right.
I have both been talking about like just even reaching out to like 40 people is like a lot of people. But know that it's a possibility. If you have to do it, I just know that you do your other business on Thursdays and Fridays. So I'm like, if we've got literally like today and tomorrow. I
Hmm.
want to get you I want to get you 2 consults in the next 4 days. I want you to sign this client. I know that they're out there. So I do think that you could also maybe go out and like say to anybody who maybe the people in your Facebook group, you could do 20 today, 20 tomorrow, and then do the soft touches. but I would be like, hey guys, I know that you've been in my Facebook group for a minute. I'm offering this amazing Wheel of Life tool. I used it on the Life After Narcissistic Abuse webinar, and I think it would be really helpful for you. So here's the link to book a consult. I'm only giving this tool away that I typically do just with my clients away on Friday. I'll talk you through it on the consult, and then we can also talk about where you want to be 6 months from now, because I do not want you to have to go through any unnecessary suffering before or during the summer of this year. I've got you.
Okay.
A day to Facebook group. And ask them to book a consult with bonus. And the posts for this week are all about like, hey, it's like you do, it's like consults are open. Here's why you want to get support in February, get support in the spring so summer can actually feel less stressful. Here's the frequently asked questions about people have. Here's what it looks like to do a consult with me. You're doing those bad boys?
Yes.
Which is new because those emails
I
were not going out
know because
before.
yeah, last month I was like, help, because I knew that was a place I needed help. So yeah. Yeah. So okay.
I'm excited.
Thank you.
You've got this.
You do. Okay. I do.
Okay. So good. Also, it was like, Kalisha, I've got you. Like, that has been such a good thought for me. I love that too. And I can make them ready. It's just like so empowering. So good. Hey, give us a win. Look at
I
your little headphones. I love it.
I know I usually don't wear them, but I'm like, I'm not gonna take them off. The way I made a offer for a consultation, so I love
Let's
making
go.
offers for consultations. I'm trying to slow the fire down. I'm quick to offer consultations, but I'm trying to earn the offer for a consultation.
I
So
think that's fair. I think that's fair. And sometimes, honestly, like just making the offer, like I think about it kind of like dating. And I think that like there are some, like for me, when I was going on dates with people, I was like, hi, nice to meet you. If you don't want anything physical or serious, let's actually meet in person. I don't like messaging back and forth. And I got 6 dates in a week. And I was like, all right, two, two, and two. And I was like,
I this is sad, but I had no criteria. I was like, oh, you're contacting me, you want to take me? Let's go. So
and I think like I was at a point where I was just like, I needed that too. I was like, I'm gonna find my husband come heck or high water. I was like, this is gonna be so it's like you guys can think about that too. Like, I'm gonna find my clients, we're gonna go out and do everything we can to get them. Like they are out there. I know I can help these people. Let's find these humans. I think it's
they at least
awesome.
have to seem human because even on dating apps, sometimes people don't seem human. So they at least have to seem human. And that's what I do for my
Oh,
consultations.
because I was, and Jill asked a great question. Why did you say you weren't looking for anything serious when you were looking for a husband? I didn't want them to come in like thinking more so. It was more so for me to be like, I don't want you to be, I was worried about like
Clingy.
physicalness. And I was like,
Oh,
and so that was more so remember we talked about boundaries, Jill? I was like, this is a boundary for me. It's like, I'm looking for a friendship that can develop into something more. If you're open to that and looking, because for me, a husband meant that I was looking for a partner, not just like a romantic relationship, but I also wanted to know that we were like compatible as like humans too. And I was like, I don't want you to be like, we're just going straight to physicality. You know what I mean? I was like, so it's why I was like, I want something that you are open to developing an actual relationship first as a friend and as a like partner before we escalate.
see, that's the problem. I have no concern with their agenda whatsoever.
It's a good
And I
question
want,
though. I was like, that was a
I
good
want,
one.
I
And I
wonder
literally
if
would
that
say, if you are looking for a friendship that can develop into something more, I'm here for it. If you're not, I respect it, and we will go our separate ways. You know? But I think it's fine. I think it's okay for you to go hard in the consults. What do you want some coaching on? Because I could go in a direction where we could discuss
that's
that, or
Well, that's part of, I have a list. So I will
Mm,
get to it this call or in the Five Figure Foundation.
I
So The first question is the easier question to me. I have been using the words that I work with people to create. I help you create lucrative contracts, close lucrative contracts.
I was going to
And
actually talk with you about this.
yeah, and I use luxury pivots, but I'm thinking about switch dropping the word luxury and just use pivots. And I rarely say that, but like sometimes I'm like in my own mind, let's do one thing at a time. What do you want to talk to me about first?
I think the word lucrative contracts is not always discerned by the average bear. I
Stop it,
think,
Megan.
you know what I mean? I know, I'm sorry. I saw you put it, it was literally on your grid of 3, and I was so proud of you. And I was like, I think that they want to sign clients. I think their words would be sign clients. It's like, I
What do you
help
think
you.
is the difference?
I think it's more average vernacular. I think that more people would say, like, if I help all, like everybody that's on here, I help you close lucrative contracts. That's
Mhm.
true. But I think that when people are thinking in their head, they're thinking more basic, and you want to answer the thoughts that people have in their head. And I want you to give them the answers and like be like, it's like, do you want more clients this month? I can help you. I help you sign clients. Just a smidge simpler. And like I think that the words like I don't think in their brain they're thinking I need to close a lucrative contract this month. I think they're thinking I need to sign a client this month. If I haven't signed a client this month, I need support. I don't know. Feel free to weigh in, guys. What do you guys think? Like Janae is also a business coach. So if anyone else thinks that they would be thinking lucrative contracts, I could be off base here. More clients. Yeah. Kalisha said more clients. So that's what I think that I think that they're like make money. They want to make more money and sign more people.
Mhm. Okay.
The money, time, and energy. And Jill said lucrative
A movie
contract sounds
deal.
like a movie. It does, and it sounds fancy, but I do think that like, yeah, and Shelly said I think contracts and clients are different things. I
They are.
think,
Agree with that.
yeah. And I think that like if you're talking about like I don't even think that maybe like as a coach, I don't think I would call it a lucrative contract. I would say a high ticket client.
And I hate that word. You know I do.
I
You know
know.
me.
I know. So I'm like, you can keep it. Well, or what we can do is we can strategically test it and be like, if I don't get at least 4 let's say 2 consults by the end of March, using the word lucrative contracts in Q2, we pivot. But we're going to go all in on the word lucrative contracts for this month. And I really want to test it strategically. I want to see if this lands. And if it doesn't land, yo, I went for a year and I tested systems. And I was like, that was my words that I was like, marketing systems, scaling systems. I like those words. I used them for 2 years and it wasn't landing. And I was like, I needed to pivot. And I was like, as long as you're like open to pivot potentially later, I think we can go all in with lucrative contracts and luxury pivots. I just think that it's thinking like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They're like here. And I think you might be more successful if we stay more time, money, and energy. This is what I crave.
Okay. Let's talk about this.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm thinking is I agree with you. So one thing that I do want to do is decide quickly, at least by Five Figure Foundations, the decision will be made. I don't want to test for a month.
Okay.
And the reason I don't want to test for a month is because, first of all, I'm an action girl. You know, I'm like, let's just go.
Mhm.
And second of all, I feel like we already have enough data for the past at least 30 days to make a conclusion.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Scientific method. That's your thing. You know what I mean?
It
I'm like,
is.
we're just like, we've done the data, we've done X amount of posts. We can look circumstantially and be like, if I haven't booked the consults, the consults that I want, then we might need to pivot. We might need for you to make a luxury pivot. Change that wording.
Yeah, we might need to. That's why I'm glad we're talking words.
But PR
So
speak, it's what Kalisha just said.
mhm.
It sounds like PR speak, which was your thing. So of course
It is.
that was literally like Dr. Demay did PR on the political field, right? So it's like, it makes sense as to why your brain went there. And I don't think it's where the average person's brain is going right now.
That's why we pay. That's why I have to speak for myself. That's why I pay you. And I just want to throw money at you because
simple sells. I think simple sells. I think if we can make it super simple and very easy for people to understand, then it's going to sell so much better. And I just know that you are so capable of helping people. And I'm like, we just need people to be like, Jamae can help me make money and sign more people. I need to work with her and pay her money.
Okay, I could do that. I need help. I need some coaching through that. I don't know how much time you have now.
Let's actually take it
in the next call.
Let's take it to the 5-Figure Foundation call, because now I actually do have a client in between this call and the 5-Figure Foundation call. But I love this and I love you guys so much. I think this helps everybody to I think when you hear it on somebody else's business, it can be hard to hear it for yourself. But if I was I think we just need to bring it down for your people.
Oh,
but you guys are awesome. This is so, so good. If you have any questions, if you also I know that many of you guys are my current clients. So if you refer people, 10%, that's my deal. And also, I can't wait to see you. If you join 5-Figure Foundation, I will see you in the call in 59 minutes. Bye, everybody.
Did you know that 89% of people need to see a testimonial in order to buy? Get my free testimonial template using the link in the show notes, and you'll see exactly how I used testimonials to market my business as it grew to 120K in my first year full-time and multiple 6 figures every year after that. Thank you so much again for listening, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Solopreneur Academy podcast.